So I'm with Gideon Benahani and Ghislaine Cormier, and they are the owners and the main operators of a number of companies. One is the Kaneshii vinyl press, which has just won the Dragons competition in conjunction with the Acadian Francophone Chamber of Commerce. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And then you have at least two other businesses. One, Outer Limits with bamboo bicycles, and one, The Great Shea, with beauty products based on shea butter and what is it called or maybe that's its name in French.
About the Kaneshii.
Yeah,
the Kaneshii.
So let's get started with let's start with the vinyl press, since that's the most recent success. Tell us what this is in terms of kind of bringing vinyl kind of to the market in a way that's going to make a dollar.
In a fresh way?
Downloads are going down. The sales of CDs are going down because people want to feel the connection to the music they're listening to. And vinyl actually never left the market. When the rise of CD and downloads, it sort of took a backseat, but it was always in the background. And about 3 years ago, I got my first vinyl from my friend called Sarah. And so I started listening to it, and I figured this would be a good opportunity. So I started collecting more vinyls, and I realized that new artists were releasing more vinyl. And 2 years ago, I told Ghislaine, you have the network, have the business expertise. This is something we should partner up and start working on. And we're here today.
So, technologically, or in terms of the physical process, how does that actually get done these days?
Well, it's very different. It used to be very a manual kind of machine. Now it's very high technology machines. These machines, they melt down the raw materials and they create, there's sort of a mold, and these things would be melted into these molds. The machines have gotten so much more technologically advanced that nowadays it's more of it creates about three vinyls per minute versus back then it was very much a bigger process.
There's a Canadian-owned company called Viral Technologies out of Toronto that develop these machines. We've been in talk with them for 2 years. Initially, we were looking at a German-made machine, but thank God we got a Canadian-made machine. And so we purchased the machine, 3 vinyls per minute, and the whole system is automized. So it needs one person to run the machine, just to take the finished products to the cooling room and reload the pellets.
So how many companies would there be today, let's say in Eastern Canada, who would be doing this in vinyl?
We are the only company this side of Toronto.
Yes,
there's Precision and Microform that are based in Toronto, but those are owned by bigger companies. We are the only one that are targeted to local artists, independent record labels. We can do the small runs that they might not do, it will be more expensive. That is our target.
And you're not involved in the distribution end of the music?
No, like we're the first stop in 3 processes. I feel like we manufacture the product for the client, and then the client has these distribution channels that would allow them to make the sales of the physical record. Yeah.
I like to use the analogy with a quick copy of vinyl manufacturing. We just print them, send it to the client, and they take care of the sales and everything.
And is there a scale challenge in terms of where you are now relative to where you see the business growing?
Yes, initially, right now we're planning on just for the first year just to get our business down to a science. How do we make these vinyls right? How do we make the best quality vinyls? How do we give our clients the best service? In 3-4 years, we're thinking about building our own location, adding more press to it, to make it look like a place where tourists can tour, because we'll be the only company this side of Toronto doing that. Tour the facility, have merchandise for sale. We also want to start doing compilation on an annual basis of the top 20 new artists on PEI or top 20 songs on PEI, so we can actually sell for the tourism part of it.
Right.
That will be a limited run every year, just to introduce island artists on the music scene worldwide too.
And it's generally accepted that there's a better audio quality with
better audio, better experience, as opposed to digital where you can't explain. Ghislaine actually said this the best way the other day, where you can't just say, I'm listening to one song and that's it. You have to experience the whole thing.
The
And
whole
there might be
album.
line of books that you can read, the sound when the needle hits the vinyl, the crispy noise, you know you're in for an experience.
So let's talk about Ghislaine and Gideon, the entrepreneurs. You're from the Evangeline region.
I am. I am a daughter of entrepreneurs, just like Gideon is. We kind of grew up in those entrepreneurial families, I think, and we value that greatly. I grew up in Evangeline. I'm a graduate from Prince County, Prince Edward Island, and I've been back. I traveled the world quite a bit, and I've been back on Prince Edward Island for about close to 10 years now, and I work in various capacities in various organizations, and this is one of my favorite projects that I'm so glad is up and running now, as of now.
And
Yeah.
Gideon, you came to Prince Edward Island as a student at UPEI
Yes,
from
I did.
Ghana.
Yes, I did. I did, came in 2004 from Ghana. I did my bachelor's at UPEI, and then I did my master's at UPEI. And with the network that I gathered here, and the business opportunity that I got here, I met a few good people. One of them I mentioned was the Sarah lady that introduced me to vinyl, telling me this is the place to do business. It's a funny, a little bit of off topic. When we came, the year we came, it was the first time I saw a lot of group of West Africans coming to study here. And I'm glad I stayed because it's offered me all this opportunity to start businesses, support from provincial government and federal government across the board.
Well, and of course, we're glad that you're here and that you've got these several initiatives on the go, and there are still ties with Ghana,
Yes.
with, of course, Kaneshii as sort of the name of that company is from Ghana, and then you're making and bringing in the sort of frames for bamboo bicycles.
Bicycle, yes. There was a company in Ghana, a social enterprise in Ghana, where they were trying to sell these frames because the tensile strength of bamboo is equivalent, actually stronger than steel. Trying to find a way to make, so they started making these bamboo frames in the country, and they were looking for distributors. I went home, I saw the opportunity there, and I asked them if they had a distributor in Canada. They said no, so off the bat I just signed the rights to Canada. And for every frame we sell, we send money back for them to develop schools. They're now building a library. They're building what they call the bamboo village, where they'll use any parts of the bamboo to build chairs, bikes, tricycles, fences, and everything. So we import them here, distribute it, donate a little bit there for them to keep growing.
That's great. What a great connection, and there is a market for the bamboo bicycle in Ghana.
In Ghana, yes, mostly for the UNICEF, because let's say for farmers, for example, in Ghana, who are tertiary farming and small-scale farming, they only make about $60, $70 a month, so they can't afford equipment or transportation. So these bikes are also made for them to carry their loads to the marketplace. Yeah.
Well, that's a great introduction and a sustainable one
Yes.
in the Canadian and DEI context. So tell us, Ghislaine, about the Shea Butter.
The Shea Butter. The Great Shea is a company that we thought of. It was actually after a first trip to Ghana, and I saw these women working tirelessly to produce shea butter and produce arts and crafts products, and I fell in love with these women and the way that they worked and how hardworking they were, and it reminded me a lot of my family and how hard work is actually a really big value at home. And so I decided with Gideon that we would start importing the raw materials of shea butter and produce these different kinds of beauty products, different kinds of body products, and having experience in arts and culture, because I am the director of La Fédération Culturelle de l'Île du Prince-Édouard, I saw an opportunity to start bringing in some of the arts, the baskets that they weave, everything that things that we don't have here, and I thought that was the greatest thing, to initiate and make people discover other cultures through these products.
Great.
Yeah.
And those are on sale at a number of places in Prince Edward Island.
Yeah, various places. We have them at the Riverview Market and the Rawson carries a lot of our products. We have the farmers markets in Summerside and in Charlottetown. We work with local people and they actually carry our products. Oh yeah, and the Maison Bouteille. Like there is quite a few. La de Centre Belle Alliance in Summerside has some products of ours there, the baskets and a lot of the kit bags and the school bags, because we thought, well, those are great. Those are great to bring into schools. So we thought, well, the community centers cater to the schools, so might as well try to have them there and accessible to the youth. And yeah, it's great.
So this covers a lot of ground, of course, with your several enterprises and the ways that you're moving things forward. Maybe we can bring it around to the event with the dragons on the weekend. What was the toughest question?
The toughest questions. The toughest question I always have to do with, in relations to markets. The markets, trying to convince the judges that the markets are big enough, especially because it's a product. Vinyl is a product that was very popular in the 70s, and it's a resurgence of it. Like we've seen a steady increase over the last 10 years. We saw vinyl sales increase 24% last year, but when you go into when the judges start asking you specific questions about specific markets, you have to know your subject. And I was able to convince them through our channels and everything, but also because we look at markets like Quebec and the New England states, and these things are very favorable for what we're trying to accomplish here.
Well, I think this is a great indication of the vibrancy of our kind of entrepreneurial culture in Prince Edward Island and the various things that you're doing